Hello, my name is Robert. For those of you that know me, my friends that know my YouTube channel, you already know who I am. For those that don't out there, basically I'm a Star Trek fan, long time fan, mainly Next Generation, and I'm doing this as basically an outlet because my friends are tired of hearing my opinion. So I figured I might as well record it for posterity and put it out there. And basically, to give you a heads up, for those who haven't seen the new Star Trek Into Darkness yet, this will contain spoilers. I will try and keep them very minimal, nothing story specific, but enough that if you haven't seen the movie and you really want to see it, go watch it and then come back and watch this video. But to those that are still watching, basically what I'd like to say is, for me personally, Star Trek has been more than just a franchise or just a set of movies or TV shows. To me personally, it's been more than that. It means a lot to me. Like I said, I grew up with Next Generation. I do like, I am one of the weird ones. I do think Enterprise was, well, horrid to begin, but then got better as it went on. But all in all, I do like it all. But the reason like I said, the reason I'm doing this video is pretty much on the original movie, or the remake, 2009 Star Trek that J.J. Abrams did that came out. I personally, as a longtime fan, and I also have a strict, I try and stick with canon as much as I can, which basically is anything that was aired on TV by Paramount is considered canon. The books and everything are not, as of right now. So that's the universal Star Trek I live in and I like. And so when they did the new movie in 2009, I took a great leap of faith, and I'm like, you know what? Okay, I'm already sick of Hollywood remaking everything, but I was like, all right, let's see what they did. The previews and everything, it looked good, and I was like, all right, I'll go. And I went and saw it, and I've told the same thing to everyone that's ever asked me what I thought of the 2009 one. It was a great movie. It was entertained, it was fun, but at the same time, I'm able to say it's not my Star Trek. It's not like Next Gen. It's not done the same way. And I understand why they did it differently, but still not my Star Trek. So, damn it. So, basically, I could still stay there and like it, but also at the same time, it's not the same as everything I watched on TV and grew up with. And I was okay with that for the most part. I was going, yeah, all right. And then Into Darkness came out, started coming out in the promo and everything. And I really strictly tried not to read anything detailed about the story because I had heard previews and stuff that, oh, it may be involve this character, it may not. Oh, it's not really that character, it's this. That kind of stuff. So I tried to stay away from that. And basically, I wanted to go in with like an open mind. Okay, yeah, it's going to be a little darker than the first movie. Let's see what they did. Kind of like I did with the first movie. Now, this is where I'm going to get into spoilers a little bit. Sorry. But for me, I would say the first half of the movie, I kind of bought. The first opening scene was great. Like the first opening, I was like, oh yeah, this is, probably what they would do. But after that, as the movie progressed, things started creeping up in the way the story was done to where I was like, no, I don't think that would happen. I mean, I understand this is all a different person's take on it and everything, but it was kind of thrown in there like, oh, here, you guys are Star Trek fans. We're going to throw in a bunch of terms and a bunch of stuff you guys are going to recognize and you're going to love. But it didn't come off as that. Not to me, anyway. A few of my friends have sort of a similar opinion. Well, not sort of. But it just didn't come off like that. It didn't come off as, hey, we're celebrating what you guys like. It was more like, oh, this isn't used in the context it should be, and this really shouldn't be here. Kind of things. And then as the movie progressed, and I started finding out who the actual bad guy was, and things started piecing together, I started thinking more and more as I was watching the movie, and I started getting really, honestly, angry because the way it was presented to me through watching the movie was, hey, this is something you fans love, and it was like regarded as one of the best Star Trek movies ever done, and we're basically going to show it to you, our version. But they do it in such a way, it's like they couldn't think of their own original ideas to completely add. Now, I know a lot of individual stuff and everything was changed. I understand that. But this was not enough. Towards the end, like one of the ending scenes was almost, because I've seen the other movie so many times, was like word for word A, B, C, like constantly. And I was just like, wait, what? You know, and it was just, at the end, I was just like, what? And I'm usually a guy that want to go see a movie several times in a row, especially if I like it. You know, on the other hand, I also will go see a movie just to see a movie because I can. But for the most part, I usually do that. With this movie, you know, I took the time, saw it in a great format and everything. Format was great, but this just didn't want me to go see the movie again. You know, I went a couple days later with some friends, hadn't saw it yet. I bit my teeth and went and saw it again. And I was hoping I had completely seen the movie in the wrong light, but unfortunately, no. And so this is just to get my opinion out there. I do not represent Paramount Pictures or CBS Studios in any way. This is just my take on it. I just want to get it out there. But for me, Star Trek, like I said at the beginning, Star Trek has always been one of tolerance and learning and understanding and exploring. And granted, some of the last of the Next Generation movies didn't have that extreme concept in there too much. They were also, you know, taken over and geared a little more for broader audiences, which I understand the business. I know that's how that works. But I just want to say, though, that that's not where this movie was headed. There was no substance of the Star Trek that most of our fans, us fans, has grown up on. There was none. And it was basically boiled down and thrown in a bunch of flashy stuff to make the wider audiences see it. And it just, you know, the Federation is not about revenge. That just doesn't happen. I'm sorry. I understand some subtext about some stuff, you know, leading to certain individuals may want to do that. But overall, it's not. It's about exploration and finding new life forms. Like the series says, to seek out new life and new civilizations, to boldly go where no man has gone before. This new movie, Star Trek Into Darkness, was not that. There was no concept of that there at all. And I that for me is what I was more upset about than them carbon copying another movie that it felt like they did to me. If they had put in some more, you know, hey, this is a new race, or hey, this is a new area, or even the attitudes, you know, was more like Starfleet ordering the hunting down and killing of one person. That's not a Starfleet thing to do. It's just not, you know? And so for me, it's just like, you just doesn't happen. So anyway, that's over my overall take. Leave some comments. Let me know what you think. See if we're on the same page. If not, whatever. If you feel this has helped you or is anything decent to pass on, please do. Post it wherever you'd like. And thank you for watching and bearing with us. As they say in Star Trek, live long and prosper.